Business tip for new businesses. Make sure your process that you create makes sense. As business owners, sometimes we can be kind of stubborn and we think the processes that we make are the final thing. But sometimes the processes that we might think make sense might not make sense to the customer or your employees. So it's always recommended that when you make a process, have someone review it like a peer or your most senior employee to make sure that the process that you create makes sense. As an example, I recently went to a new restaurant to get a takeout meal. I paid for my meal, cashier gave me a receipt, and as I was sitting down, probably 10 minutes later, the cashier was looking for customer number 11. Customer number 11. I looked at my receipt. I assumed that I was customer number 32. As some time passed by, the cashier calls me over, looks at my receipt, and then with an attitude saying that, hey, you're customer number 11. I don't even understand why they would use item numbers for customer numbers. That process is totally flawed. Because even I think the POS vendor was expecting them to use the transaction number as a reference number because even on the receipt, the transaction number is actually in bold. Now, what would have happened if there was actually another customer there that ordered the same thing that I ordered? We both would have came up at the same time because we would have both been number 11. Or what would have happened if I so happened ordered a number 11 and the next meal I ordered was a number 12? Would they call it 11, 12, or would they add them together? So this is why it's so important to make sure that the process that you actually create makes sense. To the person that created that process, it may probably make sense to them. But upon review, especially as a customer, their process is flawed.